Edward Freytag with Roll-Off Productions. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about brush playing. It's kind of a misconception among drummers that using brushes is specifically to play softer. Well, that's not necessarily the case. There's actually a timekeeping technique that is unique to brushes that you can't do with sticks. And I want to talk about that a little bit today by doing some demonstrations on brush timekeeping. First off, very often brushes are used to do what's called stirring the soup. Looks and sounds a little bit like this. It's a contrary motion with the hands, where the hands are going back and forth, almost in opposite C shapes to create the sound. Of course, if you were listening closely, all the sounds weren't the same. I wasn't just doing this. I was applying different pressures in different places to create some varying accents. For example, so you hear the difference in characteristic sounds. I'm doing that by putting more of the brush on the head, sometimes pressing down with the finger or with the grip itself, just to create some different sounds. I can do the same with the left hand. When you put this together, you have a great swishing sound that actually has a timekeeping factor to it. This technique is very often used on slow tunes or jazz ballads for those of you that play in maybe your high school or your college jazz band. So I can add the hi-hat in to show you where 2 and 4 is. So you get kind of a timekeeping feel there at a slow tempo. Now we can also do this. We can start putting accents in to give either a stronger triplet feel by just, again, some extra pressure in places that would spell out maybe a triplet rhythm. For example, you can hear that, or if you notice, my left hand is doing an extra strong pull on the third triplet on counts 2 and 4. Which even makes the ballad have a tendency to swing. Now I can also do this. If the ballad is supposed to have a straight eighth feel, we can do that same thing with the left hand, except instead of doing it on a triplet, we'll actually do it on a real eighth note on and of 2 and the and of 4. Which will give you a straight eighth feel. I can also, with the right hand, emphasize through pressure almost the rhythm 1E and. If I put that together with the eighth note on the and of 2 and the and of 4, we end up with a real strong straight eighth 16th note based pulse. I can change into the swing. Go back and forth out of those 2 grooves. For example, if with the band you're playing, the feel kind of changes from a triplet pulse into a straight eighth pulse. You can just very easily do that on the snare itself while you're timekeeping. Another common brush technique for timekeeping is where you take the right hand and we just do circles. And I'm pressing down on all 4 quarter notes to give it a 4 on the floor feel, so to speak, to make a strong pulse on 1, 2, 3, and 4. I add the left hand going the opposite direction. Which adds a little bit of depth to the sound. I can also put those triplets back in on the third triplet of 1, 2, 3, 4 and make it feel like a ballad shuffle. I can also make that a straight eighth feel. So, point being, there's a lot we can do stirring the soup to help keep time with the group that we're playing with.